How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Wish stock. I'm getting a lot of messages about this play. I talked about it not too long ago, but I feel like there's some issues that I want to raise to many shareholders out there because, again, it's all over. Hey, I've been holding Wish for quite some time. I'm down so much on this play, so I want to make sure you have a strategy as far as what you need to do next. But of course, this is not financial advice. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you are a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance, and what are some levels we need to look for in regards to a bullish case scenario or a bearish case scenario. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. We already know as far as the short interest is concerned, it will have an impact on the way the stock performs. So this is key variables you need to know about. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. What was happening on the Friday? Were institutions loading up on shares? Did we see a lot of buying on the retail side? We're going to find out. And then when all of that is done, we'll be jumping into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for Wish stock. Let's see how it performed on Friday. So it ended up closing at $5.04, being down 2.33%. On the low, it tested $5.03, and then on the high, testing $5.25. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see it traded at 20.806 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days being at 29.211 million shares. So we did have below average volume on the day, and it's part of the reasons why we are seeing some pressure on the stock. And of course, as we take a look at the chart, we haven't done that as of yet, it doesn't look the greatest, let's be honest here. So now when we take a look at the RSI down below, we can see right here it's right around 35.28, so it's quite beaten up. And when we take a look at our moving averages on the chart, we are below all of them. So of course this stock has been on quite the downtrend, and this downtrend can continue, but one area of support I want to see hold up is right here at this $4.68 level. We also do have the 52-week range at around $4.61, so that's another thing you want to keep in mind as well. But for the best case scenario, we want to see Wish being able to hold up $5. If you could hold up $5, of course we've seen that there was resistance on the Friday at $5.25. So you're going to want to see Wish get above this level and then make that move to reclaim the 21-day EMA here at $5.51. If it can consolidate, build support in this area, then I'll be looking forward to seeing a move where it can start reclaiming the 50-day at $6.61. So now you guys know what the bearish case scenario is if it does decide to pull back, and what the bullish case scenario is if it starts picking up some momentum. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Wish. So scrolling down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So we could see for October the 15th, we have Bogart Wealth LLC that purchased 5 shares. Sorry, I had to laugh at that. Come on, only 5 shares. And then we have Hamilton Lane Advisors that purchased just over 32,000 shares, 32,792 to be exact. So that is good to see. And then we also have XR Securities that has a put in as well. Scrolling down further, taking a look at October, don't really see too much. You see some closed positions and so forth, and also some more exits. So now when we take a look at the short interest, the dark pool short volume ratio is at 48.83%, and then for the dark pool short volume being just over 4.1 million shares. Scrolling down further, the short shares availability is at 6.2 million updated 2 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 1.04%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we could see for the close of October the 14th, which was last week Thursday, it was was at 48.28, and then for the Friday that just passed being at 48.83. So it went up a little bit, but not that much. But we do see it's very clear shorts are heavily vested in this play, and it contributes to the volatility we see inside of this stock. So if you're going to continue to have a decrease in volume and people selling out of their positions, this is why I was saying, you know what, giving you the bearish case scenario and as well as a bullish case scenario as far as where this stock could actually go. So for Wish to actually start picking up again, I feel like, hey, as far as earnings is concerned, there has to be some improvements there. Plus on top of that, just having more volume into this play. It did have that meme stock name attached to it. So if we end up bringing in some more interest and there's more demand for shares, of course we could see some strong moves in price action. So now let's jump into the order flow distribution. Now we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution for Wish. So we could see here on the inflow, it was 12.98, and then on the outflow, it was 19.89. Taking a look at the breakdown, we had 0 on the large. On the medium, we had 8.76, and then on the small we had 4.22. On the outflow side on the large we had 0.74. On the medium we had 13.58, and then on the small we had 5.57. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you could see for October the 15th being an outflow day on the Friday at 737.44. So when we take a look at this breakdown quickly, you could see on the small side there was a lot more selling on the retail side. So that's one thing to see clear. But we did have some inflows, there was some buying. As far as the medium is concerned, again, there was a lot more selling. And as far as for the large, yes, we had institutions doing even more selling. So looking at all of this data, I want you to understand the market sentiment for Wish is very negative. They have a lot to prove. So if you are holding shares, this is one thing I want you to be aware of, and do your homework and do your due diligence so you have a good idea of the company that's behind this stock. So let's jump into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for Wish stock, there's a few things I want to go over very quickly. The company as a whole is facing a lot of challenges. We did see, as far as management is concerned, they have been bringing in the right people. But another thing to be aware of, what's going on in the environment. We do have a lot of issues in regards to supply chain, and we also do know for Wish they are heavily dependent on China. So when you take this into consideration alongside other competition in that e-commerce space, they're going to have a difficult time. So you're going to want to keep an eye on those earnings that are going to be coming out, I think, on November the 12th. If you see some improvements, then of course I feel like the stock will be rewarded. When we take a look at the past earnings reports, they have been unable to actually meet estimates. So this is where I feel like there's a lot of negative market sentiment around the play, and when a lot of stocks ended up pulling back, this is why Wish got back all the way down to the 460s. And as far as for a bearish case scenario, you're going to want to see this level actually hold up. And if the earnings don't end up being good and they end up underperforming again, then 460 might end up being one of those areas of resistance. And what I mean by that, this stock could easily get down to the low 4s. So that is something where I want you to do your homework, do your due diligence, and see if this company is positioned to be giving you the right returns that you are looking for. And then as far as a bullish case scenario, I'd want to see Wish get to $5.51. If it's able to get to this particular kind of level, then I want to look for some momentum so it can make those moves. And then of course, I want to see it get to the $6 range. When going on Fintel, one thing that is very clear, there's a lot of short squeeze potential inside of this play. So it needs a lot more volume. I know it did have like a meme stock name attached to it. And you know what? In this particular scenario, I kind of wish it came back to getting that meme status and volume came in, because if that ended up being the case, then of course you could see some action in the stock price in regards to the upside. So if you are holding shares for the long haul, keep an eye on the next earnings report. If they keep failing earnings reports, I really don't see much of a point of holding this stock. And that's just my personal opinion, and this is not financial advice. And if you did buy in at the high, there's one thing that I want you guys to know about. If you notice a company, especially a new company like Wish, and I mean new as far as going public, if you notice on earnings reports they are not meeting expectations, then you got to start reconsidering and looking further at your investment. Stop just focusing on potential potential alone. The company has to be able to perform, because if they can perform well, this can be reflected inside of the stock. And even if they're performing well, but the stock is not doing great, then of course, then you can see there's some value there. And this is where you say, well, you know what? I'm going to add to my position, because as far as the fundamentals are concerned, this company is still doing well. And also, you do not want to go all in on your first position when it comes to a growth stock. They are well known to pull back. And when they do pull back, this is usually where you add on those dips. But again, they have to be fundamentally strong before you do that. So an example would be like, hey, well, you know what? I like to Wish, let's say in the beginning, and you said, I'm going to be spending $1,000 on this. And then you spend your $1,000 and then you see, okay, the stock is pulling back. Fundamentally, things still look good. Then I'll add another 1,000. I'm seeing a lot of messages in the comments. People are saying, well, you know, I dropped 20 grand right away. And then at the same time, they bought in at around $20. So now the stock has pulled back. It's down around $4 or $5. And then they're asking themselves, shoot, should I be selling? I am down big. If you are actually doing the right position sizes and also paying attention to the fact that, you know what, fundamentally, things are not looking that great because they're not meeting estimates, then of course you got to reassess and be like, you know what, this is not going to be happening to me the next time. And I'm sorry to put this in this video and make it too long, but I want to make sure I really emphasize this, and I want to make sure anyone who's actually bag holding this play, you know exactly what is going on and what the situation is looking like, and you want to be realistic when it comes to your expectations. And plus, on top of that, you're the one who's in charge of your portfolio. I want you guys to look at it like this. You are the CEO of a company. If you notice you have employees that are not doing their job and they're not putting in the work and they're bringing down the company's overall performance, what do you need to do? You need to let them go, right? Let's be honest here. Or maybe in this particular case, you try to talk to them, see how it would go. But at the same time, we're dealing with stocks here. So if things are not looking good, or if it's looking bleak, you need to make the right decision that's going to keep your portfolio and your account healthy. If you're a trader, you're literally just trading off of the fluctuations and the direction of the stock. So this wouldn't be applicable to you. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.